Alright e-commerce warriors, Emilia from Adjacently, and let's cut the fluff and get straight into the meat and potatoes of email marketing, email flows. Today I'll share the top 10 email flows that every e-commerce brand should have. Email flows? Think of them as your silent salesman working around the clock. Let's break them down for you. Because if you're not using those automated flows, you're leaving money on the table. So let's get straight into the video. So right next to me, you see the 10 core flows that you must have for your e-commerce brand. Don't worry, I will walk through them one by one. So first of all, we have our welcome series. So someone just handed their email. So that's like a first date. So what's your move? Alleen thanks? Nah, introduce yourself, set the vibe, show them the cool stuff that they can expect from you. So give them a reason to stick around for a second date. And hey, maybe even introduce them to a bestseller or two. First impressions matter. Don't drop the ball. So this is the structure that we like to use in general for our own e-commerce clients. So first of all, in the first email, we send a welcome email where we thank people and we give away an incentive that we've used in the sign-up form. For more information on how to set up a high-performing sign-up form, I will link the video underneath this video about that subject. But you should give away the incentive that you promised them with your sign-up form. Then you want to build a conditional split for people who've opened email 1 or not. So if people haven't opened the first email, you want to resend the same exact email with a different subject line and preview text 1 day later. This massively boosts the revenue of your welcome series because the first email of your welcome series flow is just the email that will generate you the most amount of revenue. So that's why it's key to resend this email to the non-openers. Then email 2 is a founder's email. We have seen some great results with that, with sharing a personal story from the founder of your e-commerce brand, and especially if you use it with like a plain text format. For some brands in certain niches that just works tremendously well. So the third email is more of a brand story email, so you tell more about your brand, USPs that you have, etc, etc. And then the fourth email, that's the email where you're gonna send some best sellers. So share the best sellers of your company, guide people towards the first purchase because you already gave them an incentive. Now you have to help them on what to do with that incentive. So by sharing the best sellers and saying, hey, most of our customers buy this, most of our customers like this, you basically guide them towards a certain product. And this email is just an email that will generate you a lot of revenue as well. Then the fifth email, this is where you're going to share some social proof. Social proof is key. So share social proof, show real reviews, real testimonials, and even, if applicable for your brand, share some user-generated content. In the sixth email of the welcome series flow, we want to share a new incentive with the people because we have seen that after 5 emails, if people haven't used the incentive, it's most likely they don't like the incentive. So we want to give them a new incentive so you can guide them towards that first purchase with a different kind of incentive. It doesn't really have to mean that, for example, your first incentive was 10% off. You now have to give away 20% or something like that. By just changing the type of offer, that can already go a long way. So for example, if the first incentive was a percentage off, then the second incentive could be a dollar amount off. And this can be the exact same as the percentage off. But for some people, it might make a difference because the perception of the offer that they have could be different. So the seventh email is the last email of the sequence. This is basically a follow-up on the last email where we gave them a new incentive. We now want to follow up on this and say, hey, this offer is gonna be expiring in the next 24 or 48 hours. So use it quick before the discount goes away. And this is basically the sequence that we like to use for most e-commerce brands with the welcome series. Real quick, are you an e-commerce brand owner and is your brand doing at least 25k a month of revenue and you want to scale your email marketing revenue? Book in a call with me right now and we will run your brand through a 150-point checklist to see if we're the right fit for each other to work together. We work 100% performance-based. So click on the link underneath this video, book in a call with us now, and let's see if we can help you scale your business to the next level. The second flow is the site abandonment flow, and this is a flow that most e-commerce brands skip on, and that's quite of a shame. So imagine walking into a store, looking around, and then leaving without a word. Now picture a shop assistant. That's your site abandonment flow. It's not about pushing a sale, it's about guidance. Maybe they were overwhelmed with choices. Your job is to step in as a helpful assistant. So looking for something specific, maybe this bestseller, or not sure about the fit, here's our size guide. So it's about being there, offering a hand, and making the shopping experience a breeze. Remember, sometimes all a customer needs is a little direction and a friendly nudge. So this flow only has one email, and with this email you want to be their shop assistant, as I just mentioned. So help them out, show them different bestsellers, show them different collections, show them the size guide if applicable, and help them out as a true shop assistant as you would do in a brick and mortar store. Remember, it's not about sales, it's about guiding them towards the purchase. Because you don't like a shop assistant that's too pushy, right? The third flow is the browse abandonment flow. So they were more than just window shoppers. They had their eyes on something. So remind them, show them the product in all its glory, maybe even throw in a custom testimonial. Jane loved this, thought you might too. That's an angle that works tremendously well with the browse abandonment flow. So personalize it, make it about them, and hey, if they were eyeing multiple products, why not bundle them up with a sweet deal? Bundles work really, really well with this. So the structure that we like to use is a 4-part sequence where in the first email, we want to give them just a simple reminder of the products that they viewed on your website. With the second email, we want to share a personal story about the founder and basically say, hey, do you need some help with something? And basically be the shop assistant again, as I just showed you with the site abandonment flow. The third email is going to be where you're going to introduce the first incentive. So we've already shared 2 emails with them without an incentive. So this is a good moment after a few days to give them incentive. So to give them that little nudge to move them towards the next phase of the customer journey, which is adding the products to the cart and from there going to the checkout and finishing the purchase. And then the fourth email is a simple reminder of the incentive that you gave them in email 3, but now using some urgency with saying, hey, this discount is expiring in 24 hours. Use it now before it's too late. The fourth and fifth flow of the top 10 core flows are the cart abandonment and checkout abandonment flow. And we've bottled them up because they're quite the same in terms of the structure. However, the copy is different. So first of all, the cart abandonment. So they were this close to purchasing. So the cart was loaded, maybe even checked the shipping, and then they ghosted. Time to play detective. So was it the shipping cost? Offer a discount? Was it payment options? Highlight the alternatives. Remind them on what's waiting in their cart. And maybe, just maybe, tease them with a leaving the party so soon. Then the checkout abandonment. So the finish line was in sight and they bailed. So that hurts obviously, but let's fix it. Address the elephant in the room. Was it a tech glitch? Assure them. Security concerns? Float those badges. Offer a chat support. Sometimes all they need is a human touch. And always make that final step as smooth as butter. And don't forget, a cart abandonment and a checkout abandonment are 2 different flows. The checkout abandonment uses a started checkout trigger. The cart abandonment uses an added to cart trigger, which you have to manually install yourself, which I'm going to be making a video about soon. Klaviyo standard cart abandonment flow uses the started checkout trigger and therefore is not really a cart abandonment flow, but a checkout abandonment flow. So this is something to keep in mind. Those are 2 separate flows. You should have them both in place for your e-commerce brand. So as I mentioned before, the structure that we like to use is the same for both the cart abandonment and the checkout abandonment flow. So it's like a 6-part sequence that we like to use, where in the first email, it's going to be a simple reminder of the products that they've left in their cart. The second email is going to be more about your brand USPs, because they might have concerns about your brand, and when you want to talk about their objections with this email and talk about the USPs of your brand. In the third email, we want to introduce the first incentive, because after 2 reminders, it might be that they just need that little notch, a little discount to help them further down the funnel and help them finishing up the purchase. So we want to introduce an incentive, and we also want to show a lot of social proof. So show reviews, show testimonials, and show some user-generated content if possible. It really helps so they can see that other people have liked the product, they're enjoying the product, and so they are like, hey, other people are liking it, I will probably like it as well, so I'm gonna buy it now. Especially with the incentive that you're also giving in this email. Then the fourth email is going to be a follow-up on the incentive that you just gave them. In the third email, so with this email, want to use some urgency and say, hey, this discount is expiring 24 hours, so use it now. Then the fifth email, you want to send it 2 days later again. In this case, you want to give them a different incentive. So you can go up in terms of the percentage of the discount that you're giving away, or you can use a different kind of offer. So it could be that in the first incentive was more like a percentage off. Your second offer could be like a bundle with a higher percentage off that they could save. But because it's a bundle, it will increase your average order value so you can make more profit out of it. And with the sixth email, again, you want to follow up on this new incentive and use some urgency again to guide them towards that purchase. The sixth core flow is the window shoppers flow, and this is like a secret weapon that we implement for all of our e-commerce clients. Your window shoppers, the admirers. They love to look, but they rarely buy. Challenge accepted, right? So show them the bestsellers of your brand, the rave reviews, that everyone's getting it products. Create a bit of FOMO. And if you got a killer video of user-generated content, show it to them. Turn that maybe later into why not now. So for this flow, we like to use a two-part sequence where in the first email, we want to share the brand USPs and a lot of social proof. They are window shoppers, they know your products, but you really need to give them the final nudge to guide them towards a purchase. So sharing a lot of USPs of your brand, convince them of why they need to do this purchase now, showing them social proof that goes a long way. So with the second email, again, you want to show a lot of social proof. You want to show your brand USPs again. Use some different angles, some different hooks with the second email. And with your second email, you could also introduce an incentive. Why you should use an incentive with the second email is because these window shoppers already know your products. They know your brand. It might be that they're like, hey, I want to have this product on a little discount. So giving away that discount, it can be a small discount, can go a long way for these window shoppers. Then the seventh flow, the post-purchase flow. So we now covered all pre-purchase flows, so let's get into the post-purchase flows. So these people have trusted you enough to purchase. That's a big thing. So what's next? A simple thank you, think bigger. So offer care tips, introduce them to your loyalty program, maybe even slide in a referral bonus. And always ask for that review that you can use as social proof for your other people, because nothing sells better than a happy customer. A pro tip, always make a split or use different flows based on the amount of times someone has purchased at your store. You use different copy and different content for first-time buyers and your VIPs, for example. So make sure to use different flows or make a conditional split based on the amount of time people have purchased at your store. So the sequence that I'm going to show you is for first-time buyers, where in the first email, we want to thank the people for doing a purchase at your store. This is a big thing, so you want to thank them and basically show your appreciation by doing the purchase and building up that hype for getting the purchase. Because in the first part of your post-purchase flows, you basically want to reduce the buyer's remorse. Buyer remorse is something that's really common in the e-commerce world. People have done the purchase, they've paid for it, but they haven't received it yet, of course. So what they'll get is buyer's remorse. They'll think, hey, should I have done this purchase? So with your post-purchase flows in the first emails, you basically want to give them a good feeling about the purchase, make them excited about the delivery of the purchase, and basically give them tips on how to use the product that they've just ordered in the best possible way. So the first email is just a simple thank you from the founder, but with the second email, you're going to give some more product information. So let's say you give them a moisturizer, give them a how-to on how to use the moisturizer in the best possible way. What's the right sequence on using a moisturizer? Should you first wash your face? Or, I don't know, maybe you should first use a serum or something like that. So that's why this email is really important, and give them product information they need so they can use your products in the best possible way. So the third email is an email that they will receive after they have received their product. So at this moment, they should probably be happy with the product that they've received. So this is the right moment to ask for a review. Again, you want to receive as much reviews as possible because this helps you build social proof for other customers, other potential customers at your store. So ask for a review. You can even give them an incentive in return. And make sure to connect your review system to Klaviyo so you can integrate the reviews into Klaviyo and use some really cool features based on the review system that you're using. In the fourth email, you want to introduce your loyalty system. So if you have a loyalty system, introduce it to them now. They've received the product, hopefully they've left a review, they're happy with the product, so now you want to make sure that they, as a first-time buyer, will be coming back at your store. And one perfect way to do that is by introducing them to a loyalty system where you have multiple tiers, which makes it interesting for them to buy more. They can earn points and people love to earn points. So this is a great way to make sure they will be coming back at your store. The key thing is obviously your products, but a loyalty system can go a long way. Then the final 2 emails are for cross-selling them with a different product. So let's say someone has purchased a moisturizer, you can now cross-sell them with a face wash or with a serum. So this is a great way to basically increase the customer lifetime value and to turn these first-time buyers into a returning customer. Obviously, you've also introduced them to your loyalty system, so that together with the cross-sell that you're gonna do to them in the next emails, it's a perfect way to turn them into a returning customer for your brand. You can decide to use a discount on this cross-sell or not. We like to use that, or you can bundle them up so they can save some money as well without hurting your margins too much. And that's the post-purchase flow we like to use for first-time buyers. The 8th core flow that we like to use for e-commerce brands is the bounce back flow. They just made a purchase. They are happy, you're happy, but why stop here? Hit them up with a thank you deal, a limited time offer, something they can't resist. It's like a dessert after a great meal. Irresistible. So what you want to do is give them an offer that's only valid for the next 60 minutes. So there's a lot of urgency, and give them a deal that they can't resist. A deal that you're not going to give them in regular emails. This bounce back flow, this offer, is going to massively increase your average order value and helps you increase your margins straight away right after they've done a purchase. So this is a really great way, and I highly recommend using this for your brand as well. Number 9, the customer win-back flow. So old flames, they've loved you once, they can love you again. So show them the new stuff, the evolved brand, the we've missed you deals. Remind them of the good times at your brand. And always make them feel special, because they are. So the sequence that we like to use for the customer win-back flow is a 4-part sequence. So in the first email, we want to give them an update on your brand. They haven't purchased at your brand for a long while, so we want to update them on the latest news and the latest products, and basically give them a product recommendation based on the products that they've purchased before. So in the second email, you want to continue with this product recommendation, but now you want to introduce an incentive again, because it's been a long while, so you can give them a unique deal because, they've purchased before, so you want to thank them for that and give them a deal to get them back into your brand. And if they're not using this incentive, then in your third email, you can introduce them to a new incentive. Raise the incentive, use a different kind of incentive, give them a bundle based on, again, the product that they've purchased before. And with your fourth email, you basically want to follow up on the last incentive that you gave them, give them a reminder, and use urgency with saying, hey, this discount is only valid for the next 24 hours, buy now. The last core flow that you should have in place as an e-commerce brand is the sunset flow. So, the silent ones. They're there, but not really. Time for one last grand gesture. So exclusive content, a killer deal, a heartfelt remember us. If they are still cold, well, sometimes it's just best to part ways, of course, but not without a fight. So with this flow, we like to give them a 3-part sequence, where in the first email, we want to give them an update on their brand, haven't engaged with your brand for a long while, so you want to introduce them into your brand again, give them an update on the latest developments, and you also want to give them the option to change their preferences. So it might be that they haven't opened your email because, in their opinion, you're spamming them. So you can say, hey, do you want to update your preferences? Do you only want to receive our emails once a month, for example? Give them that option to do so. Because it might be they only want to receive your emails once per month, for example. It can better send them just one email per month if they want so, then suppressing them and get them out of your system. The second email, you now want to give them an incentive. So this is basically to make sure that they're going to open your email and they are engaging with your brand. So give them an incentive, give them a really good deal, and then with your third email, you want to follow up on this deal, use some urgency, and again, making sure that they're just opening the email. That's the main goal, not necessarily about them buying, but more so that they're opening your email, that they're engaging with your brand, so you can start sending them regular campaigns again because they're engaged with your brand again. And that's how we like to set up the sunset flow for e-commerce brands. Alright folks, we just dive deep into the top 10 must-have flows that every single e-commerce brand should have in place. these aren't just flows, these are game changers for your e-commerce brand. So if you're not using Klaviyo or you don't have these flows in place, you should really step up your game. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that like button underneath this video. This doesn't only support my channel, but it also helps other e-commerce warriors help find useful information that helps them with their e-commerce brand as well. Do you want more tips and tricks on email marketing and e-commerce in general? Don't forget to subscribe to the channel underneath this video and don't miss any other videos coming out. We've got a lot more magic to share with you here at Magicianly. Hope to see you soon in the next video.